there, how are you? This is Lois Gidiga. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. Welcome back to my channel. I am based here in Calgary, Alberta, and today, if this is your first time on my channel, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button. If you are my returning fan, thank you so much for your support. Today I want us to talk about visa denials. Excuse me. So why is your visa denied? There are many reasons as to why a visa that is a temporary resident visa is denied. And when I say temporary visa denied, I'm talking about a visitor visa, a business visa. This is going to be part one. I'm going to make this video into two parts. One part is regarding the visitor visa, and the second part will be regarding students, because it risks being too long, and I don't want to have a very long video. I know we all don't have a long attention span. Anyway, I just have to give my little disclaimer here that the information that I'm giving you today is for your information purposes only. This is in no way, shape, or form legal advice. And I know I get so many emails. Please just bear with me, guys. I get so many emails. I don't have time to respond to all those emails. And that's why I ask you to send me an email. It is going to be an automated email that tells you exactly what to do and how to proceed. Because come on, I only have 8 hours in a day, and I cannot just be responding to emails. And a lot of these things I have already addressed them in videos. So please look for my videos, subscribe to my channel. You're going to find a lot of information about Canada. And if you have any question regarding your application, or you want any help with your application, you are denied a visa, you want to ask me what else you qualify for, please, I only do those through a consultation session, simply because those things do take a lot of my time, and I want to use my time on my clients. Okay? All right. That is out of the way. Excuse me. Why is your visa denied? A lot of people come to me after their visas have been denied, and they send me that refusal letter, which has very generic reasons as to why your visa is denied. And they ask me, almost everybody asks me, should I apply again? When should I apply? And I tell my people, the reason, that the main thing here is not when you apply. No, it is first knowing why should you even be applying. Do you have any business applying for that, reapplying for that visitor visa? You should never reapply for a visitor visa unless you have fulfilled the requirements in the refusal letter. So if the situation has not changed, please, if you get a refusal today, don't go back tomorrow and reapply without any change in circumstances. There's no need of wasting your time, wasting your money, and wasting the visa officer's time to review your application again. Okay? So always ask yourself, why was I denied? It's not when, it's why were you denied? Are you able to address those questions? And I also know that those refusal letters, as I said, they could be very vague. And we are going to see some of the reasons that these people do give as refusal reasons. So it's always good, and I recommend this. Always make sure before you reapply, have a legal representative, or have somebody in Canada get you your immigration file. You will need your immigration file. It's usually a very long document. Go through it bit by bit, part by part, because it has a lot of notes that are made by the visa officers, and in there you will know. So assuming if maybe you made a mistake or you misrepresented a material fact, you would know those issues when you go through your file. So always, I recommend, please have your file. I know it takes time to get that file, but please request for your file. Talk to me if you want me to request for you your file. Talk to someone like me. Have your file retrieved, address the issues, and if they are addressable, at that point, then should you reapply for your visitor visa. Anyway, I also want to say that at the end of the day, visas are granted. Of course, there's a checklist. A visa officer goes through your application. They also have the instruction manuals. They have the documentation that they check to see that your visa application is per, as required. So once they go through that to ascertain that your application is in order, everything, you've satisfied everything, at the end of the day, you have to satisfy that visa officer. And some of the satisfaction, unfortunately, falls upon the visa officer's discretion. Some people at times, and I know there have been complaints, I've heard people say that there's a lot of denials. People at times even put perfect applications, they still get denied. Maybe, they are human, maybe they were tired, it's at the end of the day, your application was put in a haphazard way, it's long, it's not clear, and all those things could actually work against you despite you having a good and a full application. I also know that the immigration website says that you do not need legal representation to apply. Yes, that is true. And they make it seem like applications are very straightforward. And at times I wonder, if these applications are this straightforward, then why do we still have so many refusals? There's a lot of people who go beyond, over and above. They make perfect applications, but guess what? They still get denied. That tells you that at times, maybe, some people could have, and there are people who tell you, it's so easy, I applied it for myself, go online and apply. Not everybody is the same. We are not of the same capacity. We are not all computer savvy. Not everybody has done enough due diligence. And every application, it doesn't matter. Every application is different because every individual is different and your circumstances are going to be different from those of your friend. And that's why at times you may apply for the same thing. You apply together, one of you gets and the other person doesn't get it because of so many factors. Anyway, I'm not here to give you a lecture as to why maybe you should be choosing a legal representative, but I just want to make sure you understand. They say that you don't need that representation, and then people apply and they get denied. Unfortunately, when you get denied, you already have a denial in your file, so that is going to form the basis. So always make sure the first application you make is selling you, is giving you the best shot, that way, at least even if you're denied, then you may even have a basis for an appeal. Yes, people do appeal visa applications. Unfortunately, they are very expensive. It is extremely expensive to appeal a visa application simply because you are a foreign national. You don't have access to the immigration division here in Canada. So you will have to go to federal court, and to file a judicial review, a lawyer is going to require a lot of money to do that. So people do that. I've seen visitor visas that have gone all the way to the Supreme Court. But those are few, and they are for the people who have money and the power and the might to do so. So if you do not have that might to take Immigration Canada to Supreme Court or Federal Court, then please make sure that your application is good. Perfect. Okay. All right. So what are these generic reasons? You've all seen these reasons. And the top one is always saying that the visa officer is not satisfied that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay. And I'm like, so how did they come to that decision? How did they arrive? How did they read your mind that you will not go back to Canada? And that goes back to discretion. Because if the visa officer is feeling some kind of way and they feel, oh, you know what, I don't think this is a bona fide visitor, then they are going to deny you. And that is why you need to make sure in your application, excuse me, you have all the relevant documents. You give genuine reasons. You are relevant. So if someone is inviting you, you're coming here to do something, make sure it is relevant. Okay? Everything, make sure things are relevant. You are genuine. Does it make sense? Right? Is the conference you're coming to, does it make sense? Is your vacation making sense? Do you look like you are a credible, a genuine visitor to Canada? So make sure you do that depending on your circumstances. Excuse me. The other one is travel history, and this is a big one. So they always tell you that they cannot give you because you don't have travel history. And when people talk of travel history, and I'm going to give an example with Kenya because I'm Kenyan. So travel history is not going to Dubai. It's not going to South Africa, Uganda, Nigeria, Israel, Egypt. No, that is not travel history. Travel history consists of you having traveled to a first world country. They really like if you've gone to places like the US, UK, Australia, some countries in Europe like Germany, France. Have you gone there and gone back home? So that is travel history, that you've gone to some places and you still had motivation to go back home. Mostly, they also at times they may check that the reason that you went to these countries mostly was for vacation purposes. It's not like your employer sent you there. You'll still be credible if your employer sent you, but it's nice when you've gone away on vacation and gone back home. Okay? Number 3, which is big, ties at home. They say that you do not have enough ties at home. What are ties? Ties are things that are going to motivate you to go back home. So if you come to Canada and then you look back, you'll be like, am I gonna go back or not? Do I stay here and try my luck? Ties pull you back home. And ties consist of things like family. Do you have that big family? Do you have the family support? Do you have a husband? Do you have children? Do you have a wife? Do you have a job? Do you have assets? Do you own a home? All those things, obligations, society, social obligations that are going to pull you back home. That is ties. So make sure that you are portraying that you really do have ties back home. The 4th one, I really hate it. It ties to Canada. This is one of those things you do, you're doomed. You don't do, you're doomed. Ties in Canada. And the times they tell you that your ties are stronger in Canada. How is that? This is especially for people with relatives in Canada. So if all your family is in Canada, your mom and dad, your brothers, your sisters, they are in Canada, you are the only one who is remaining back home, then your ties look like they're gonna be stronger in Canada than they are back home, and that one really works against you because it's one of those things. If especially it's your family, like your immediate family, they must show up in the family form, in the dependent form, and there's no way you cannot skip them. You cannot declare, you cannot fail to declare that your mom lives in Canada. But the moment you declare that and you want to come here and visit, then that may work against you, and there's nothing you can do about it because come on, that's family. You're not going to disown your family simply because they are in Canada. So that's usually a very tricky one, but for immediate family you have to declare. If you don't have to declare people, please don't have to declare them. Don't go writing in your submission, yes, I'm coming because I'm going for a conference, and after the conference I'm meeting my cousin in Ottawa, and then we're going to fly to Vancouver and meet my auntie. My friend, leave some of these details out of your application. Your aunts and your cousins, they don't need to show up anywhere in your application unless you have satisfied everything else, like you have an impeccable travel history. See, if you have an impeccable travel history, you have wonderful ties, you have everything else going on for you, then you can include them. But if you don't have all those, do not jeopardize your chances by writing about your cousins and your friends that you're coming to see here, and your future boyfriend. Please, those are ties. Okay, right. The other one is lack of enough supporting document. You all know there's that document checklist that you will get, and you go through and you tick everything. You tick, and you feel that you have given that. If that is all you're going to give, my friend, please, you're better off giving more details, more documents, more support, more proof than giving less. Remember, especially with visas, Canadian visas, you don't go for interviews. This is not like the American visa where you go for an interview. You're not accorded the benefit of an interview. And you're going to see that most of these applications now, they are moving online. So you only have that one shot to advocate for yourself. put as much information as possible. If you're going to do it online, please look for softwares that are going to help you combine PDFs and compress them, because there's a limitation on the attachments that you can put when you're applying online. Make sure that you're giving as much information as possible. Okay? All right. The other reason, a major reason, is funds. I have said enough times, so many times, I don't know how to say this. Funds. Money is very important when you're immigrating to Canada. And there are people who tell me, I want to immigrate, but I don't have money, and I don't know how to help you, unfortunately. Because if you do not have money, you will not be able to immigrate here, unless in some classes, like someone is sponsoring you. But if you want to come visit, at least you must have money for travel, for flight, accommodation, to pay for whatever you're paying. And you must also show that is not all the money you have. I'm going to give you an example. So you want to come visit Canada, and all you have is 1 million Kenya shillings or 800,000 Kenya shillings between you and death. That is all you have. And now you want to come to Canada for a week or two. You're going to pay flight 150. You're going to pay hotel, a few $1,000s. You're going to get, you're going on a small vacation. Maybe you're paying for that event that you're attending. Of course, there's going to be out of pocket. There's going to be local transportation. There's a lot, my friend. And now you are going to invest 500,000 shillings into sorry, I always confuse shillings and dollars, so please forgive me if I say dollars and shillings. Okay, so you're going to take all 500,000 shillings and spend it to come to Canada, and between you and retirement, you only have 800,000 Kenya shillings. Does that make sense? Ask yourself, some of these things are just common sense. In the eyes of a visa officer, he's going to be looking at you like, so between you and your entire wealth, you have 500,000 Kenya shillings, right? And you're going to spend a whole fortune. You're going to spend 450 to come to Canada. What are you going to go back to? Okay? So make sure that you're showing that you have enough funds. Enough of that. But yes, show that you have enough funds for the trip, for expenses, for out of pocket, and more to go back to, because you're not going back home to be homeless. Okay? Another reason, and this is a big one, better pay attention to this, is misrepresentation. What does misrepresentation mean? Misrepresentation means that you are giving false information. You're misrepresenting material fact that could affect the application of your visa. Please, my friends, I cannot tell you. People call me, they're like, oh, I reached out to this agent, they got me a fake bank statement. My friend, I don't know how to save that. I cannot help you with that, right? Make sure you're smart from the word go. Do not get fake documentation. Do not go lying into those applications, because they're going to catch up with you. And the big thing with misrepresentation, the moment you tell lies, those lies, they come after you, and you could be barred or even banned from coming to Canada. So you do not want to get yourself into such kind of a situation. Okay? The last one is inadmissibility. What is inadmissibility? Inadmissibility means that you have something that is working against you. You're not allowed to come to Canada because of your health, because of your criminality, because of your security issues. Maybe you committed genocide somewhere, crimes against humanity. You are a wanted criminal somewhere. You have warrants of arrest. Your health is jeopardized. So all those things are funds also. Right, all those fall into inadmissibility. I just want to mention that there are ways. If you have good legal representation, always talk to us. If you have good legal representation, you can combat, or you can counter inadmissibility. Yes, whether it's health, there are ways to go around inadmissibility. Not all of them, but there are ways. Assuming you are arrested at some point, there are ways that you can go around to counter that kind of inadmissibility. The same as health. Okay? All right. I said these applications are not straightforward, so just bear that in mind. Some people will tell you, oh yeah, it's so easy, I did it. Yeah, I know, but maybe some people are just lucky. I also know some people who have applied to come to Canada 4, 5, 6 times. Believe you me, the 7th time, they got it. A different visa officer could look at your case and they're in a good mood, you know, they're in that mood. I'm taking people to Canada, and you're among those people, and they let you go. That said, I want to say this: when you reapply and your case is looked at by a different officer, it doesn't mean now that you've already corrected the issues that were raised by the first officer. The second officer is not going to look for other reasons to deny you. Yes, they can look for other reasons. It's okay. You address the issues that were raised by the first refusal, but now the second visa officer can look for other issues, can get you other reasons as to why they do not want you to come to Canada. Remember, I said make sure that your first application is tackling all the relevant points that you need to be tackling, and that is going to be giving you a better chance. Okay? Some things I will tell you because I've seen the complaints, especially from my African people that are complaining that there's a lot of denials. I will say this: some things are working against us. A lot of things are working against us, and these things, first and foremost, is precedence. What is precedence? There is statistics. Immigration Canada collects statistics, and they can see countries that are producing a lot of refugees. So if your country is sending visitors here who later claim asylum, who overstay their visas, who don't go back home at the end of their stay, that is precedent. So those cases or those applications tend to be scrutinized more than the others, right? So that is precedent of people who have come here before. They could be ruining it for you. The other thing that is going, I want to mention here, you could do all that and get yourself a visa. Guess what? They say clearly that that visa does not guarantee you entry to Canada, and this is how it works. You've seen people who tell you bye-bye, and then they come to Canada or any country and they are deported. They do not go beyond the port of entry. It's such a shame because some of these reasons can be prevented. These are the things that are going to make you be deported at the point of entry after you've done all the legwork, and then you arrive and they send you back home. It's a sad situation. I do not want to see that happen to you. But what are the factors that take you there? The first one, and it's the most important, make sure your digital footprint is clean. Okay? Make sure your digital footprint is clean. When you come to the port of entry, you don't have many rights. Yes, it's true, you're a foreign national, you don't have many rights. You don't even have the right to attorney. But you can always ask for an attorney, but you don't have that right. It can be given to you, but you don't have it. So make sure your digital footprint is clean, because they may search you on YouTube or Facebook or where Instagram, and people have a tendency of posting pictures there. You're coming here for a visitor visa, but you've already posted photos of your goodbye party on Instagram. My friend, don't do stuff like that. Please be discreet. Okay, I know you're excited, you're coming to Canada. Avoid some of these things because they are going to excuse me, they're going to work against you. I've also seen people who are coming to claim refugees, and they're saying how they're coming from a very bad situation, and the officer goes online and they see you on vacation, you did this, you are having a good time, you are YOLOing. My friend, take care of that, your digital footprint. The other one I'll tell you, because I know people do get visas, at times you pay someone to get you a visa. My friend, make sure that that visa is genuine. You do not want to come here and get through with a fake visa, because you will be turned back. The other one is technology. Yes, your laptop, your phones. Be careful of the things which are in your phone. You should be watching border security. Border security, it's simple stuff that are going to have you sent or even sent to secondary interview? What photos do you have on your phone? What emails, what contacts have you made? Have you been contacting employers? So you're saying you're coming for a visitor visa, but you had already contacted employers, you have emails. Those ones are going to sell you out. So my friend, please make sure that you're taking care of that. Be clean. The last one is port of entry interviews, and please look for my video, the one that I talked about arriving at a Canadian port of entry. The interviews you do there, please my friend, don't panic, don't be nervous. You know, you're sweating, I know you're nervous. You know, when you see law enforcement, people do tend to get sweaty and nervous and all that. Please relax, answer the questions you are asked. Do not volunteer or over volunteer information. Don't be chatty, don't say unnecessary stuff, because the more you talk unnecessarily, the more you dig yourself into more questions. Okay, all right, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being with me here. The next video, that is part 2 of this video, is going to be about students. Yes, why student permits are being denied and what you can do about that. Thank you so much. If you love this video, I'm going to ask you, if you love this video and you want to be seeing more of my videos, please share this video. Also subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.